Okay, so we have this three-dimensional figure, and it's what's called a prism. Let me first give you the name, and let me take you to the notes. So here's the notes from exam number 3. So this is your exam number 3 notes, which is available for you at the top of the Unit 3 module on the Canvas course shell. So I just added recently these formulas. So volume of prisms. Now, first off, what is a prism? Let's talk about that for just a second. A prism has two of the same shapes on the bottom and top. Two of the same shapes, bottom and top, those are called the bases. So like right here, so this has a triangle on the top and a triangle on the bottom, or this one has a rectangle on the top and a rectangle on the bottom, or this one has a, what's this, a pentagon on the top and a pentagon on the bottom. This one has a hexagon on the top and a hexagon on the bottom. So those are prisms, right? So it's two of the same shape, triangle, and then straight sides in between. And then let me just write that. Straight sides in between the bases. So that's what a prism is. So any shape where you have two of the same thing and straight sides in between. You don't actually have to have straight sides, but let's just keep it simple for now. So two triangles with straight sides in between, that's called a triangular prism. And two rectangles with straight sides in between, rectangular prism. Two pentagons, straight sides in between, pentagonal prism. Two hexagons, straight sides in between, hexagonal prism. So what we're interested in is the volume. Well, they're giving you the formula right there, but I want you to actually feel it. The more it makes sense to you, I think the better you'll remember it and use it in real life homework and exam problems. Let's take a look. This is like a big fancy Rubik's Cube, isn't it? So here's the question. How many cubes are there? I think every one of you would know how to figure this problem out. If somebody gave you a prize, if there was a question and you get a prize if you can figure out how many total cubes there are here, you know how to do that. What would you do? Well, you would just count the cubes on the top. How many cubes on the top? Well, it looks like it's 1, 2, I don't know if I have room there. 3, 4, 5. Can I make it bigger? Yeah, maybe I should make it bigger, huh? Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's how many on the top? 4 rows of 5. That's what they're doing right here. 5 times 4, 20. 20 on the top layer, right? You can see it right here, right? This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 this way, and 1, 2, 3, 4 this way. So it's a 5 by 4. There's 20 cubes. If I actually, just counted them all out, there'd be 20 cubes. You know that there's 20 cubes there. And by the way, each one of those is a cubic centimeter. What do we mean by that? It's a cube. Look right here, for example. Right here. This, that's a cube, huh? This. That's an actual cube. Centimeter by centimeter by centimeter cube. We call it a cubic centimeter because it's centimeter by, so we're saying there's 20 cubic centimeters. So then how many in the top layer, but how many total layers are there? Well, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that is the height. The height equals 4, doesn't it? Because there's 4 layers high. So how many total cubes are there? You would say 4 layers, that's the height, of 20 each, right? Every one of those layers is 20. This is the base, and this is the base. You know, I mean, they're all the same as the base, but the base is the bottom and the top, usually we call it, right? Or, you know, so it's, well, the base is really the bottom. I'll just leave it at that. Base is the bottom. So anyway, so this is the base. So notice what you're doing. You all know that there's 80. There's 80 there because there's 4 groups of 20, right? Every one of us can look at that and go, well, there's 20 cubes and there's 4 layers of 20 cubes. So there's 4 layers of 20. There's 80 cubic centimeters there. There's 80 cubic centimeter by centimeter by centimeter cubes. And what is that? That's the height, 4, times the base. Well, that's why they're saying the volume of a prism is base times height. It's ground floor or top, either one, they're the same thing, times the height. So that's what we have to do. So let's look back at this shape right here. So here, this is a prism. Why? Why is it a prism? Well, here's the base, and here's the other base. And the height is actually right here. So this prism is being laid down on its side. Normally, you know, the base is on the ground and it goes up to the top. This prism is on its side. This is a rectangular prism. Why? Because the base is a rectangle, isn't it? This shape right here, this is a rectangle. So the base is a rectangle. This is a rectangular prism. How do we figure out the volume of this prism? Well, mine has gone off the edge of the diagram a little bit. Let me try to improve him a little bit if I can. There we go, sort of. Anyway, so if you count the squares there, mine is what? It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So mine's a 5 by 7. So they just grabbed the base. This is the base here. So they just grabbed this base and they're just focusing on just that base. Mine's 5 by 7. So this, what is the area of the base here? The area of the base is 5 times 7, 35. And what are the units? Well, these are inches. So the base is square inches, right? We're saying actually how many squares? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You know, keep going. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, etc. All the way down to 35. There's 35 square inches in the base. And then what is the distance between the bases? Well, that's the height. That's the 10. That's the distance between the bases. And notice the base goes at 90 degrees. The height goes at 90 degrees to the bases. We always see that principle, right? Height is 90 degrees to the bases. This is 10, and it's just going to be regular inches, isn't it? This is just 10 regular inches, which is distance. And finally, what is the volume? Well, how do you figure volume? Well, what does it say right here? The volume of a prism is the base, what's on the ground floor, times the height, right? You just got to say 4 layers, just like right here. 4 layers, take the base, the ground floor, which has 20, and then multiply by the height, 4 layers of 20. So that's what we have to do here. Take the ground floor, this is the ground, it's just being laid on its side. Just take the volume is just going to be the base times the height. So what's the base? Well, the base is for mine anyway, is the 35. What's the height? That's the 10. So that equals 350. And what are the units? Cubic units. We're actually saying how many cubes fill it up. 350 cubic inches. So there we go. We just find the base and we multiply by the height.